In this video, we are going to explore the important topic of personality and discuss how it influences behavior in the workplace from an organizational behavior standpoint. First, let's talk about what employees are like. These are things including personality, traits, and cultural values. Personality refers to the enduring characteristics and traits that determine how we think, feel, and behave. In the workplace, understanding personality helps us understand what employees are like. We often describe personality in terms of traits, which are stable tendencies in how individuals behave. Traits include things like being outgoing, detail-oriented, or emotionally stable. Cultural values also play a big role in shaping personality. These are shared beliefs within a culture that influence what traits are considered desirable or appropriate. For example, in some cultures, being more collective and group-focused is valued, while others might prioritize individual achievement. Together, it's personality traits and cultural values that give us a full picture of what makes employees unique. Now let's move on to the Big Five personality traits. You probably heard of the Big Five before. A lot of companies use this to assess personality, and it is one of the most widely used models for describing personality. Think of the Big Five as CANOE, C-A-N-O-E. First is the C, conscientiousness. It's a long word, but what it simply means is how organized, dependable, and self-disciplined someone is. Employees that are highly conscientious or high in conscientiousness are often very goal-oriented and perform well in structured environments. The A part of CANOE, of the Big Five, is agreeableness. This dimension measures how cooperative, compassionate, and helpful someone is. High agreeableness employees are much more likely to work well in teams and avoid conflict and drama. The N part of CANOE is neuroticism. This refers to emotional stability. Employees high in neuroticism might be more prone to stress and negative emotions because they're highly neurotic, while those low in neuroticism, they tend to remain calm and resilient under pressure. The O part of CANOE is openness, specifically openness to experience. This trait captures creativity, curiosity, and a willingness to try new things. Employees high in openness are often adaptable and thrive in roles that require innovation. The E part of CANOE is extraversion. Extroverted employees, these are your social butterflies. They're outgoing, they're energetic, and they thrive in social situations. Highly extroverted employees tend to perform well in roles that involve a lot of human interaction, like sales or leadership positions. Now let's talk about nature versus nurture, the roots of personality. There is an age-old debate over whether personality is shaped more by nature, and that's just how you're born, versus nurture, how you're raised. Nature specifically refers to the biological and genetic factors that influence personality, whereas nurture includes our environment, our upbringing, our culture, our life experiences. There have been a lot of studies about this topic, and research shows that both play significant roles. For example, genetics might influence whether someone is naturally more introverted or extroverted, but life experiences like job roles or cultural background can shape how those traits are expressed at work. Next, let's talk about Hofstede's cultural model. Geert Hofstede is a researcher who developed a model to understand how cultural differences influence our behavior, especially in a global workforce. The key dimensions of Hofstede's model involve the following. First is individualism, collectivism. Individualist cultures tend to emphasize personal achievement and independence, whereas collectivist cultures value teamwork and group harmony. Power distance. This refers to how comfortable a culture is with unequal distributions of power. High power distance cultures accept hierarchical differences, while low power distance cultures prefer more equality in relationships. Uncertainty avoidance. Cultures with high uncertainty avoidance prefer clear rules and stability, while those with low uncertainty avoidance are more comfortable with ambiguity and with change. Masculinity, femininity. Masculine cultures prioritize competitiveness and assertiveness, while feminine cultures value care, cooperation, and quality of life. Short-term versus long-term orientation. Short-term oriented cultures focus on immediate results, while long-term oriented cultures emphasize future planning and perseverance. Indulgence versus restraint. Indulgent cultures allow for some indulgence. This includes things like free expression of desires and personal fulfillment, while restrained cultures value self-control.